What's up, everybody? Thank God it is Friday. It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe de Paris. If you're in the chat room and you can hear me, just give me a thumb up, give me a hello, a hi, throw me an emoji, anything. Just letting me know that you can copy my sounds. I would hate to go into this content and nobody cannot hear a word that I'm saying. So definitely just give me a thumb up. Let me know you hear me. Let me know you can copy me. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. Let's see if I could go ahead and share this. What's up, Fifi? How you doing, boo? Glad to see you. What's up, love? Good to see you. Big ups to everybody that's entering my chat room. You're probably on your little lunch break or whatever. It is Friday. God is good. The weekend is almost here. So y'all will be able to get to catch y'all happy hour after 5 o'clock. So I'm gonna try not to keep this content too long, but I thought it was very imperative, y'all. We have a state of emergency. I repeat, we have a state of emergency. Low income housing could see evictions because of government shut down. If you don't know, now you know. I'm getting this information from let me see this news source here, WDTN.com, number 2 news. It has been brought to the attention of those of y'all who are receiving low income housing. You better really get ready. If you're receiving low, if you're actually residing in low income housing, if you're residing in Section A, if you're receiving any EPT food stamps or anything of that nature, you better definitely have a plan, because this government shutdown thing, there's no telling how long this is going to go on. And as all of you should know by now, President Trump has no heart. He has no remorse. You have to realize, people that have never had to struggle, they don't care about people who are in the struggle, because they cannot relate to your struggle. So, unfortunately, I've been warning y'all, I've been preaching this to y'all, I've been, schooling y'all for a long time, letting y'all know that if you are depending on any type of governmental assistance, whether that's housing, whether that's food stamps, SNAP, whatever it is you're receiving through the government, when it comes to the government could pull a rug from under your foot at any given moment. That is the dangerous part about depending on the government, depending on food stamps, depending on housing, depending on Section 8. When something goes down within the government, like this government shutdown thing that's going on right now, it can impact everyone who is depending on it. Now, this is going on in Dayton, Ohio. Now, there's no telling how far it's going to go. Maybe, and I know some people still won't take it seriously, until they actually get a notice, until they one day check their EPT card and see there's zero balance. It's a lot of females that are on the system that are not taking it serious. They do not understand that when it comes to the government, you're putting your whole life into their hands. And that's the dangerous part. You give that person, the government has so much authority for these dependents, these recipients, for these good women that are receiving Section 8, receiving housing, receiving EPT. The bad part is that the government at any given moment could stunt on them and pull something unexpectedly. And I know a lot of these recipients, they really don't take it serious, especially the ones who are uneducated, who are ignorant to the fact of how the government works and how the government operates. They don't believe stuff like this can happen. Basically, they don't believe doo-doo stinks until you mush their face in it. They really don't think that the government could shut things down on them. And that's the dangerous part. And for anybody who's receiving any type of governmental assistance and you are in denial and you strongly don't think something can happen, if you really think you are safe, if you really think you are straight, unfortunately, you are a sad soul and you have been misled, because the government is nothing to have your hopes set on. Let me tell you something. The government ain't no more reliable than your baby daddy, which is the reason why you had to get on government assistance in the first place. Okay. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead on and read into this. Basically, this has started, this situation is occurring in Dayton, Ohio. Now, I know a lot of you welfare recipients, EPT recipients, I know y'all thinking, well, it didn't happen in my state, but this is the problem. It can happen in your state. So you need to be prepared, even though right now this is just occurring in Dayton, Dayton, Ohio, as far as I know, because I didn't look into the other states, but you need to be prepared, because if it can happen in one state, it can happen where you are residing as well. What's up, D brother? Appreciate you for coming in. So, without further ado, Wednesday marks day 19 of the partial government shutdown. The longer the shutdown lasts, the higher the stakes become for those living in Section 8 or low income housing. Anything and everything to do with Section 8 housing is up in the air right now. Initially, the government did have plans to fund Section 8 housing for the next 30 days, but that appears to be changing, according to Miami Valley Fair Housing. Jim McCarthy, president of Miami Fair Housing, says recent communication with the Department of Housing and Urban Development points to a mad dash to secure funding for HUD. Subsidized housing residents are some of the country's most vulnerable people. They are families with children, senior citizens, and people with disabilities. Not only do Not only do people live in Section 8 housing developments, the government also offers vouchers, which people can take to independent or small scale property managers. All of these people could face eviction. Vouchers act as a direct deposit for landlords. They can sometimes cover as much as 75% of an individual's rent. That means the shutdown has a trickle effect that impacts property managers too. How compassionate and what ability do these folks have to essentially shut their businesses down and remain viable business interests? They have to essentially shut down their businesses and remain viable business interests. Those who don't know how Section 8 operates, the way Section 8 operates, Section A can give the woman, the single mother or whatever, or the disabled person, a voucher for like $600. Okay, let's say the rent is $800. That means if Section 8 is providing you with a $600 voucher, the only thing you're responsible for is 200. Let me see. Is there anybody else that's having trouble hearing me? Okay. Okay, let me know if y'all can hear me. Is there any sounds issues before I proceed? Because I want to make sure everybody can copy me. Can y'all hear me? Because on my end is making it seem like my voice is being carried. Okay, it probably was an issue with my mic. Okay, no problem. If my voice goes out again, please alert me because I don't want to continue to do this and nobody can't hear anything. Okay, cool, cool. What's up, priest? Yes, for those who are not familiar with Section 8, I'm gonna repeat that part since my voice went out on that. The way Section 8 works, the single mother or the recipient that's on Section 8, what happens is Section 8 gives these women a voucher. Okay, let's say if they rent is $900. Let's say she has three kids and they live in a 3-bedroom home, and the landlord wants to charge her $900. How Section 8 does, Section 8 will go in, inspect that house, make sure it's up to par, make sure it's in living standard conditions. And if Section 8 approves of it, Section 8 will cut her a voucher based on how much income she receives. So Section 8 may give her a $700 voucher. And if the rent is $900, that means she's only responsible for $200 of it. Okay, so as you can see, these women, they get over a good bit, but the problem is while they're thinking they're winning and they're getting over with the government, the problem is the government is holding them hostage. What a lot of women who are receiving Section 8 and receiving these benefits, what they're not realizing, they basically have prostituted themselves to the system. And what I mean by that, what does a prostitute do? Basically, a prostitute depends on her pimp, right? That's what we know most prostitutes to do. Prostitutes depend on a pimp, okay? Which means this gives the pimp the authority to abuse, misuse, and if that pimp ever gets to the point to where he wants to discard his prostitute, he can do that because she's basically put herself in a position of where she has to depend on him. That is the way the welfare works. Welfare is the biggest pimp of all pimps, and it's pimping a lot of these women every day. And unfortunately, a lot of them don't think they're being pimped. What's up, Uptown? What's up, Gigi? What's up, Shar? Definitely good to see you, Shar. Thanks for coming in. What a lot of these women are not understanding is welfare, housing, Section 8 is the biggest pimps of all pimps. And while a lot of them think they are winning because they're getting by with this $10 rent, $20 rent, $100 rent, the problem is right now we are at a state of emergency. It's already happened in Dayton, Ohio, and slowly but surely, this government shutdown thing, y'all, like I said, we don't know how long this is going to go on because, again, Trump don't care about poor folks. And I don't despise him for it. My thing is, I know he can't relate to us in the struggle. I can't be mad with somebody who cannot relate to my struggle. Now, say if he was somebody who came from the projects and now that he in the Oval Office, he want to be brand new, then yeah, I would feel some type of way about Trump. Because my thing is, wait a minute, you went in the projects, you grew up in the projects, you knew what it was like eating out a can of poking beans and not having a can opener. You get what I'm saying? So I would have had more against him had he came from the struggle. But my thing is, Trump cannot relate to none of us in the struggle because he never had any, he never had to go through the struggle. He never had to go through it. So we can't be mad at him because people who are not used to the struggle, they cannot have any compassion for us. They don't know what it's like to struggle. They don't know what it's like to have to rob Peter to pay Paul. They don't understand us. So my thing is, Trump can hold out as long as he wants, and he's not going to feel bad about it. Because again, he cannot relate to those who are receiving low income. He don't know what it's like waiting on a check, waiting on food to hit your EPT card. He don't know what none of that even means, you know. So we can't feel some type of way about how he treats us. You get what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. You know, I'm not co-signing with the way he's doing things, and I'm not saying I like the way he's doing things, but he cannot relate. The man been rich all his life. He don't know nothing about no TANF checks or no Section 8. So what I'm saying is he is not going to let up, if you get what I'm saying. You know, people who have money, they don't have compassion for poor folks, you know, because in the back of their mind, they just feel like if I can work and get it, then guess what? So can you. That's how people with money think. People with money think if I can get it, if I can get mine, even though they was blessed to have a family that left them a legacy, left them an inheritance or whatever. A lot of us didn't come up like that. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of us had to start from the bottom to work to where we are. But my thing is this. This is why I've been preaching to these sisters. I've been preaching to y'all to stop depending on the government. Have you a plan B? Because if you are trying to make a living off of the government, you are going to find yourself totally disappointed. That's interesting. Yeah, I got an EE and a GG in my chat room. And a Fifi. I'm telling you, all my ladies in here with these echo names, Fifi, GG, EE. I still got love for y'all. I got love for my girls in the chat room. But yeah, it's getting critical, y'all. We got a state of emergency. I told y'all several times in all my other contents of my videos. I've been preaching to these ladies. I've been schooling these ladies. I've been telling them you better come up with another plan because you never know when the government could pull a rug from up under your foot. And now what they have to realize, everything is government based. Everything is government based. Your vouchers that you receive for Section 8, that's governmental based. Your EPT food stamps, that's governmental based. If you're living in the projects, that's governmental based. If you're receiving TANF checks, that's governmental based. And even child support, well, I think child support is more state based. I don't think the government is really, I don't think the government has a whole lot to do with that. But anyway, the women definitely, they're gonna have to get ready, because if you're in Section 8 housing right now, you need to be looking into other places. You need to prepare yourself, because like I said, Trump cannot relate to your struggle, girlfriend. He cannot relate to us poor folks. He cannot relate to us low income folks. He's not going to have no compassion for us, okay? He can carry this on and on and on and on. Now, I don't know what's the big deal, why they won't let him just build the freaking wall. Whatever the case is, I don't know. I don't really like to talk about politics because it's a pain in the ass to even cover. But what I'm saying is, you ladies that are receiving any governmental assistance, this is the time to start looking into other options. You don't want to be bamboozled. You don't want to wait till a letter get in your mailbox and says, due to the government shutdown, we're going to have to temporarily suspend your food stamp benefits. We're going to have to temporarily suspend your vouchers for Section 8. We're going to have to temporarily suspend you from living in housing. It's getting really critical. Y'all watch this video again. That's how it starts. Exactly. Uptown girl. And you said a mouthful. But see, this is what happens, priest. People think a lot of these women have been on the system for so long. They never ever think the day is going to come when it's going to come back to bite them. They never ever think it's going to end. They never take it serious. And the crazy part is, y'all, a lot of these welfare recipients, they don't had too many close calls to know that things could go wrong at any given moment. What's up, Rep? How you doing? Um, yeah, and I'm telling you, Rep, it's about to get real serious right now. If everything you have and you depend on it through the government, you are in deep trouble. And the sad part is not only those that are receiving welfare, we have the elderly people that are disabled who can't help their situation. I sympathize more for the senior citizens than I do these women that are able-bodied and able to go out there and work. My thing is, if you can go raw and not use protection, you should go raw paying your rent. Okay, you shouldn't get no assistance. You shouldn't get no help. You know, my thing is, if you are woman enough to put yourself at risk, knowing you really don't have the finances, knowing you really not stable, then if you're going to go there like a grown woman, you better be able to handle your business like a grown woman. That's how I look at it. But what welfare has done, welfare has set a lot of our sisters up for failure. Welfare has set them up for failure because welfare has not given these women need to be able to survive without welfare. Welfare ain't been teaching these broads nothing. Welfare should have been putting these women in classes and teaching them independent living skills, teaching them how to manage their money, teach them they should make that a requirement that if you want to receive food stamps, housing, you got to attend classes. You got to go to school where you have to learn to come off this shit when the grits hit the fan. That's the problem. Welfare, the system has prostituted these women that are dependent on it. And a lot of them don't believe that. Exactly, priest. Training wheels are about to come off. Absolutely, because that's what welfare is. It is nothing but training wheels. And you are so right. Uptown, next thing, they'll start dictating how many kids you can have. Girl, let me tell you, Uptown, you ain't freaking lying because they're already kind of doing that. Now, back in the day, let me tell y'all something. They are tightening up on Section 8 a lot. Don't let these broads fool you into thinking they got it easy and housing is spoiling them and giving them the best of everything. Let me tell you something. Housing is tightening up because back in the day when my mom was on housing, when my mom was getting Section 8, if you have 4 kids, right? You could get like a 4-bedroom house, which meant that child, every child you had their own room. That's how it used to be back in the day. Now, the rules have changed. It done got bad now. If you have 4 kids, right? And you got 2 boys and 2 girls, guess what? You're going to be limited to 2 bedrooms, which means your boys have their own room and then the girls have to pile up in the room with you. That's how bad it done got. That's how bad it done got. So these women that are receiving the benefits, they're not winning because slowly but surely, and you said it, Uptown, the system is already calling the shots. The system is dictating everything, letting them know, guess what? You got 20 goddamn kids, but guess what? All of your 20 damn kids are going to be piled up in a 2-bedroom house. Because what has happened is the system that got smart. Because of so many sisters that got stupid and didn't plan and didn't have a plan B, the system them got it to where, you know what? We're not going to make it comfortable for them no more. We're just going to accommodate them, but not make it comfortable. Meaning that, let's say if you need a ride from work, and the only ride you have to depend on is somebody who got a raggedy ass car. But guess what? It's not their job to make you comfortable. It's their only obligation is to get you to work. You don't get to decide, well, why are you picking me up in an 89 Honda? Why you couldn't pick me up in a 2016 Lexus? No, if you need a ride, you got to take whatever the hell is being offered to you. And that is how the welfare works. Welfare is not making it comfortable for these women anymore. The rules are getting stricter. The procedures are getting harder. They tightening the noose around their neck tighter and tighter and tighter. They're making it harder by the day. Yeah, sure. That's how it was in the old days. It's not like that no more. This welfare got it to where you can have 30 kids. Guess what? All 30 of them are going to be piled up in a 2-bedroom house. They're not making it comfortable anymore. Uh, yeah, I mean, if the heat don't work in the car, guess what? At least you getting to work. You can't complain. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about it. Section A, the system, it done got bad to where females can't even complain about it no more, because that is the way the system works. The system is your pimp. What prostitute gets to tell they pimp, I don't like that you got me standing out here on the street corner? What prostitute gets to tell they pimp, I don't like that I got to give 23 more BJ jobs and then I got to give you all my money after I've been on my knees all night? Prostitute don't get to tell a pimp what to do. That is how welfare works. That's why I said the system is the biggest pimp of all pimps, because it's so ironic to me how a lot of these women that receive these benefits want to scream that they're independent. You are not independent. You are being pimped. Because you can't, like a prostitute cannot survive without her pimp, meaning if her pimp decides to tell her, you know what, I'm through with you, I'm done, I'm cutting you off, guess what? She's back to nothing. She's back to the streets without a pot to pick out of, unless another pimp is willing to take her on and deal with her. That is the same way the system works, y'all. The system is nothing but a pimp. That the system is nothing but a pimp. It's the same thing, because the system is just another version of being a pimp daddy. These women they then put themselves in a vulnerable position to where, guess what? A prostitute can't leave her pimp. No matter how much he abuses her, slaps her around, calls her all the no good hoes, and you know what? Guess what? She's confined to taking that abuse because she has learned to survive by depending on him. And that is the same way these sisters, these welfare recipients that are getting these benefits, guess what? The government could abuse y'all, pimp y'all, slap y'all around, dog y'all, put you in housing. When they get pissed, when they change the rules, they could evict your ass tomorrow or whatever the case is. Guess what? You got to deal with it because you have put yourself in their hands. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be like a domino effect. And not only that, what about the landlords that then got used to getting these vouchers from, the government? Because that's how the landlords, that's how they make a living. What's up, Matt B? Oh, what's up, Angela? Thank you for coming in. Didn't see you. Priest Brooklyn in the building. Exactly, Matt B. It's easy to get pimped when you don't know you're being pimped. And that is the problem. A lot of these sisters are not understanding. The government is pimping them because you can't make a move like a prostitute. You can't make a move unless your pimp tell you to make a move. Ain't no prostitute, not that I know of, was ever able to tell her pimp, I don't want to do this, or I don't want to abide by your rules. I don't know a prostitute who's been able to do that. Same thing. That's the same way the government works. These welfare recipients, these women that are receiving housing, EPT, and staying in projects, they don't get to tell the government what to do. And you know what the crazy part is, y'all? A lot of them are so ignorant. They're the first to complain. They'll be the quick to complain. They'll go to their caseworker. I don't understand how they send me this eviction letter. Where me and my baby's gonna sleep at? Do y'all not understand the government don't give a rat's ass where you and your kids are gonna sleep? They're the main ones that get on the news complaining with different Crayola colors in their hair and nose piercings and all of this other stuff. They'd be the main ones to get on the news. How I'm gonna feed my baby? Where me and my kids gonna live at? What I'ma do? Like it's the government problem. You know, like it's the government problem. We all know that one sister that will get on the news, Bukisha will get on the news and will be screaming and raising hell and not understanding why welfare decide they don't want to take care of her no more. She'll be the main one to go up there and complain. I don't understand why my money did not hit my EPT card this month. I don't understand. How come my EPT card still got zero balance? How I'ma feed my 7, 8 kids? Do y'all know I'm not lying. Come on now. Let's be real. It's gonna be that one sister that's gonna have the balls and be on and go on the news and will complain like the government owes it to her. It's always, and they don't get it. The government don't care about your sob story. They don't care about how you're going to feed your children. You can call your caseworker and complain all you want. They don't care. Because at the end of the day, it's your problem. You took a gamble by going to the system and getting on it. Anybody that is on the system, you are taking a gamble. You are taking a gamble because any day they could change the rules on you. You know, it's almost kind of like paying rent. You know what I mean? That landlord can get funky with you at any given moment and say, you know, I don't want you, 30 days you're gonna have to move out because, I want to go ahead and sell this house. What can you do? When you put your life in somebody else's hands, you can't do nothing but deal with it. And these young ladies, and some of these old bats, because you got a couple of old fools out here too. That ain't just these young girls. Got these old bats. They don't get it either. They're not understanding. The government don't owe you. They could switch up the game and they can change the rules anytime they want. And that's what makes it so bad. Pre said ninjas are going back to 4 weeks and fried rice. That's a good one. Funny thing is that the news will be the most. You know what that be? And I'm so sick of that. I'm so sick of them getting Bukisha to do an interview. How I'ma feed me and my babies? How I'ma feed me and 6 of my babies? Where we gonna live at? And you know what the crazy part is, Matt V? They'll have that one sorry ass clown standing in the background right behind them that's staying with her, knowing he ain't working and helping her pay the bills and helping her pay for them churns. They'll have that one sorry. They'll have Leroy. Leroy be sitting in the background, standing in the background while she doing all the talking. I'm like, boo, that's your man. And you already depending on the system. And he right there staying in governmental housing with you. I mean, come on. Yeah, Tyrone. Tyrone is more like it. Yeah, I like that name. Tyrone to be standing in the background while Bukisha on the mic with all them loud ass colors in her hair, looking like a Crayola box with all them damn nose piercings. I don't understand why they won't feed me and my kids. I don't understand why my money ain't hit my EPT card. Me and my kids don't have nowhere to go. And you know what? She'll be pregnant up again. Her stomach could be already sticking out while she on the news crying about the 6 she can't feed. You notice that? Guarantee you, she gonna be have a bunch of colors in her hair, and she gonna already be pregnant up, and Tyrone gonna be standing in the background looking like, I don't understand why they won't give my baby mama her EPT card. Why ain't no money on her EPT? He'll be sitting right there. It's sad, but we can almost predict the outcome of how this is going to go. You know why? Because we've seen it so many times. You know, this is not a game, people. We are at a state of emergency. These sisters better get off their high horse. Stop playing with these nail shops. Stop playing with these hair stores. Y'all better get it together. Start banking up. Start saving up. Start stacking up, because it's about to be critical. Y'all better be stacking y'all bread like pancakes at IHOP, because it's about to get critical. But you know what? A lot of them, they're not going to take it serious. They're still going to go to the hair store. They're still going to get their nails done this weekend. They're still going to go to Rainbows, City Trends, Chinese food place, hair store. They still not going to take it serious. You know, what's up, Zero? Yeah, Zero, I'll be sending you an email this afternoon, because I'm going to be doing a live next Friday. So you'll see it anyway when you check your email. Yeah, Shar. Angela says they've been talking about shutting down the system for a while, and that's what they're doing. Slowly but surely, Angela, they are working on that. That they're slow, they're getting to that point. Shaw says somebody needs to do something to help me with all these kids. I'm telling you, these women will beg. They want somebody, and I guarantee you, she's gonna already be pregnant. She gonna be on the front news, 6 months pregnant. Her belly already gonna be swollen, and she gonna have 6, 7 little crumb snatchers running around in the background while Tyrone's standing there. Tyrone looking like he can't even give her no gas money. I'm telling you, it's getting critical. Let me have a head of a version. Yeah. And like I said, you know, and I'm really not saying this to be funny. I want these sisters to start preparing themselves, because the government has shut down. So they're not understanding the government is the government is their pimp. They cannot pimp. If your pimp stop giving you, if your pimp stop taking care, if a pimp stop taking care of his prostitute, what you think's going to happen to her? She's going to struggle. She's not going to be able to survive. And that is the same way these women who is getting assistance from the government. The government turns them loose. A lot of them are going to be lost in the sauce. And I'm upset with the government, because they ain't taught these sisters nothing. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Oh gosh, I don't know how to say your name. AXXDRIIXXAN. You're gonna have to help me on that. You state that most single parent households are ran by women who make an average roughly 25,000 a year, which is poverty. A child costs us 12K a year to raise. Without assistance, America will have a crisis. Absolutely, that and you definitely are on point with that. And the bad part is, you know, it's going to be a domino effect, because if these girls lose their housing, and they don't have nothing to fall back on, you know, what's going to happen is a lot of them are going to be forced to have to work. So if you don't have a job, um those of us who got degrees and those of us who doing really well, we're going to have a hard time getting jobs, because what's going to happen is the sisters that are struggling, they're going to be willing to work for pennies and dimes just to provide for all their 8 or 9 children. You know, so the competition is going to be worse for us who do have receipts, who do have credentials to make good money. We're not going to unfortunately, we're going to be bamboozled, because what's going to happen is all of these jobs, they're going to be hiring these sisters that are desperate, that are thirsty, who are willing to work for pennies. So that's the only other bad part. This could really be a really bad domino effect. And not only that, these single moms, you know, who got these teenage boys who they have spoiled and bought them Jordans and used to give her the best of things. Once she loses her housing and she has to go out there and work for everything raw, and she could no longer fulfill her son with that lifestyle, this would be the same young man that'll turn around and carjack one of us. robbing and stealing. This thing could go so many ways. That's the bad part, because people who are used to living in poverty, who are used to the government taking care of them, they don't know how to function without the government. Now, the other problem is, what's up, Felipe? Felipe. The other part, yeah, I'm telling you, think about it, y'all. A lot of these girls that's receiving benefits, a lot of them give their children a lifestyle that they know they really can't afford. And that is, the government has given these women delusional beliefs that they could buy their kids Jordans and do all of this other stuff and not have to really budget, because the government has always taken care of them and supplied them with vouchers, supplied them with food stamps. Now imagine if the government takes all of that away and she cannot provide her son with the best of Jordans and the best of things that she's been giving him since he's been 3 and 4 years old. Guess what? He's going to rob, steal, kill, or whatever he got to do to continue that lifestyle his mama done started him with. You get what I'm saying? If that makes any sense to anybody in here. People are going to have to start getting to the mindset of starting to run their own businesses. And I agree, Zero. It's something that we all definitely will need to consider. But it's definitely is going to get critical, because the problem is the government has set these women up for failure. Because let me tell you how a pimp works. Let me go back to this thing about being a pimp. Because, like I stated, the government is nothing but another version of a pimp. Now, if you think about it, let's think about the typical street, the real pimp that's on the street. Okay? If you notice, a pimp would give his prostitute just enough to make her believe he cares about her, but at the same time, the pimp is smart enough to know if he gives his prostitute too much, she's not going to need him. Are y'all following me? Are y'all marinating with me on this? I want to make sure y'all marinating with me on this. That's how a pimp works. A pimp is not going to give his prostitute too much, because if he gives her too much, she's going to not need him anymore. And if she no longer not needs him, he cannot profit off of her, if that makes any sense. But he knows he has to give his prostitutes something. A pimp knows he has to give his prostitutes some guilt, at least some kibbles and bits, just enough to make her believe she's winning. That is how the government works with these ladies that are depending on the system. The government is smart enough to give these welfare recipients just enough to keep them codependent. Okay, because the government knows if they were to help these recipients become too established, these sisters are not going to depend on them anymore. So basically, the system is designed to keep a woman, to keep these single moms in bondage, to hold them hostage. The system is designed that way. They are not winning at all. Because let me, and I said this before, anybody who's been listening to my content, you've already heard me say this, but I'm going to say it again for those who are here for the first time or those who didn't catch it. If y'all really think welfare has y'all best interest, for anybody out here who's receiving Section 8 housing, who is residing in subsidizing housing, if you really think the government is supporting you, let me ask you this question. Why the government don't mind paying for y'all Section 8 vouchers versus paying for mortgage? Let that register. Let that marinate. Anybody in here who's smart will pick up on what I just said. Why the government will only pay for your rent but won't pay for your mortgage? Think about it. Do the science. If Section A can give these women $700-800 a month for rent, RENT, for rent, why they can't put that money towards a mortgage where these sisters could eventually own that home they are living in? You know why? Because Section A is like a pimp. He wants to keep you in hostage. He wants to keep you captive. Exactly, Zero. I'm glad y'all are getting what I'm saying. Why won't Section A buy these women homes for them? Why? Why? I'm with you, Rep. Why? My thing is, if they're going to pay if Section 8 is going to give these women $800-900 for a voucher, couldn't that go towards mortgage? You know why? Because they don't want these sisters to get ahead. And a lot of them are too damn blind and too uneducated and ignorant to see it. And you're right, sub spuds, they're not thinking long term. I would rather if you're going to help me, I would rather you pay my mortgage versus my rent. That way, eventually, I could own it and I don't have to keep depending on you and relying on you. Let me tell y'all something. If you was in a situation, right, and somebody was willing to give you a car, okay? Let's say you don't have a car and you need to get back into from work. Let's say your father made an offer, your parent, your mother, your father made an offer to you and said, okay, what would you want for me to do? I'm willing to get you a car. Do you want me to get to lease a car for you, or do you want me to buy a car for you? Which one would you want? Which one would you want? If somebody offered you a car and said, I can give you this car, but do you want it? But I can give this car to you by through you leasing it, or I could actually give it to you and let you own it. Which one you gonna take? Exactly. E. Exactly, and that would be the wise thing to do. If I let you the child support program, so that there's a lack of cooperation between the mother and father, maybe for welfare if the mother and father are actively involved financially. Exactly, I agree with that. But the problem is, unfortunately, AXX is it's a lot of some of these women, they don't want to cooperate with the father. You know, they would rather go through the system. Because some of them have their own personal agendas, and then there are some men out there who just don't give a damn. So sometimes a woman don't have no choice. Sometimes she has to take it to that extent. But for those who do have fathers that are willing to work with them, some of them is not about that. Some of them, may be jealous because he done moved on or he's in another relationship. So everybody got their reasons for why, welfare, they rather get welfare involved. Oh, absolutely. Inner beauty. I mean, I'm game if you game or whatever. I don't have a problem with doing that. I don't have a problem with supporting another sister channel who's supporting mine. So I'm game. I appreciate the donation. Appreciate it very, very, very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, just somebody put my email in there for me. One of my mods hook Inner Beauty up with my email so she could hit me up later. So I don't mind collaborating or whatever with other people, because I think that's important that more sisters come together and school these other sisters. Because my thing is, I'm about real topics and real discussions. We have enough YouTube drama going on, and it's so ineffective. How's it helping our people? It's too much drama and it's not enough knowledge on these YouTube streets. People need to be educating the Black community. We need to be educating these sisters. We need to be putting people on about what the hell is about to go down. Nobody give a damn about all this other YouTube where you said this and I don't like how you came on my panel. It's so much goddamn pettiness, man. I'm sick of petty ass grown folks. If they would just learn to get some wine, everything would be fine. I don't get mad. I just go buy me some wine. I'm not about to sit up here and go toe to toe to you on no YouTube streets now. I'm not in the mood for it. Lack of planning. Met V says lack of planning, marriage before children. Absolutely. And Met V, this is the thing. People don't want to talk about that stuff. We don't understand tradition has worked in many cases. Tradition has worked in many cases. If we would have stood by the principles our ancestors and our grandparents have taught us, we wouldn't have the problems we have. But the problem is the game has changed. No problem interviewing. Looking forward to. I will email you now for afternoon show. Okay, that's no problem. I'm cool with that. That'll work for me. Um, this is the problem, y'all. We have lost the dynamics of family. That has changed over the years. And I would say it's the welfare system that has changed it. Welfare has programmed these sisters to believe you don't need a man, you don't need a husband. All you need is housing, food stamps, and you get your child support and you straight. They are setting our sisters up for failure. And I'm not saying that you got to have a husband and be a woman. I don't want nobody in here thinking. So please don't run out there tomorrow and put money on Tyrone books so you can marry him in jail. Because there's going to be a sister in here who's going to take that comment literally and pull something stupid like that. Please don't marry Tyrone in jail, okay? I'm not saying you got to have a husband to be a woman. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you got to have a man, but what I'm saying is if we have made better decisions from the start, we won't have the problems that we have. It's too many women that are striving to be baby mamas instead of actually having a family. It's too many women that just want children instead of wanting a family. It's too many women that are striving for that. I've heard it's more women that are starting to become, they are willing to become a baby mama first. They're not even looking to be wives no more. Women have ran away from that. Women have given up on trying to be a wife because a lot of them don't even feel like they're valuable enough to be somebody's wife. A lot of these women, they are striving straight for the baby mama position. They don't have no confidence. They don't feel worthy. They don't feel like they are worth the man putting a ring on their finger. And whether you want to believe it or not, queen, you are worth that. You are worth that. You are worth for a man. If he can give you your child, he should be able to give you his future and his heart. But if you one of them sisters, you thirsty, you desperate, you don't feel worthy, guess what? You're going to make stupid decisions and you're going to cheat your child from the start before that baby gets here. A lot of them don't want to go there. We want to sugarcoat stuff. We want to dress it up. We want to pamp it up. We want to make it look right and say, oh, it's okay. It's okay. You don't need a man. You don't need a baby daddy. You can do it by yourself. All you need to do is go down there and get your application for child support and all that. Guess what? You're getting a check. But that child ain't getting a father. Do you realize a father is more important than a dollar? Do you not understand that? Because eventually, as that child becomes older, you're going to go through changes with that child, and you're going to need that father to be there to help you balance that child out. In the as far as parenting wise, all of this, I'm not knocking single parents. I know some single parents that are very successful who have made sure their children went to college. And I know some families where they have had both mama and daddy, and the kids still went to prison, still turned out not to be nothing. But I'm talking about statistically wise. I'm talking about statistically, because it's going to always be that one sister that's going to come in here and say, well, I'm a single mother and my child turned out fine. I'm not talking about the minority. I'm talking about the majority. It's always that one sister that want to bring up other scenarios. It's like if you say, well, I don't like blue. Well, what about green? Let's stay to the subject, okay? I'm not saying every single mother is down and out and in poverty. I know some single mothers who are doing the damn thing. They got nice cars, nice houses. If it does not apply, you don't have to reply. Soon as they hear the word single mother, they quit to get in their feelings. Oh, how dare you go in on us? How dare, sister, calm down, pump the brakes. We're not at Waffle House. Don't jump over the counter. It's not that deep. If it does not apply, you don't have to reply. You can't, just because somebody says the word single mom, you don't have to get offended because you're a single mother. You know, you handling your business and you doing what you're supposed to do, bump other people's opinions. Don't let my opinion define you. Don't let my opinion or anybody else's for that matter. You know, because sisters quick to get mad. They want to jump over the counter and knock another sister out because a sister got a different opinion. You know how we do. Women, Black women, we got this offensive filter. We cannot stand to be ridiculed. We cannot stand to be corrected. We cannot stand to be called out. We don't mind exposing people, but we don't want to be exposed. It is what it is. And then you have some sisters who keep it real and say, you know what? I messed up. I should have made a better choice. I let my thirstiness get in the way of my common sense. Very rarely you're going to have a sister that's going to keep it real. What's up, Seven? Thank you for coming in. Very rarely you're going to have a sister that's going to keep it real and say, I messed up. I was young, dumb. I was thirsty. He looked it good. He was good in the bedroom. He really put it down. I mean, just be honest. Just say I made a dumbass decision. I can respect, I can kick it with sisters like that. I don't have a, I don't, I can roll, I can vibe with a sister that's not willing, that doesn't have a problem fessing up to her mistakes and say, girl, you know what? I knew better. I don't know what I was thinking. I could respect that better. Then you have that one sister that wants to be so argumentative. Well, he deceived me. He lied to me. I can't stand one of those sisters that every guy she met, it's always been a problem with them. If you done been with 9 different guys and ain't none of them with you, come on, sis, something wrong with you. Come on now. It can't be wrong. How's something wrong with all of them? You ain't got no faults. You ain't got no flaws. I'm tired of some sisters who always want to pull out the victim card. They don't understand why a man using them or why a man lying to them. You knew Tyrone been in and out of jail all those years, and you still kept messing with him. You knew Tyrone had 8, 9 baby mamas. You know Tyrone wasn't helping you take care of the first child y'all had together. You got pregnant again. Come on. I cannot sympathize with women that would not take accountability for their actions. I cannot sympathize with grown men who do not take accountability for their actions. Because some of you brothers, we get on some of y'all too. Y'all know the woman y'all was messing with was crazy, and you took a chance and you slept with her in the raw anyway, and now you're mad because you got a child from her. Come on. We all are grown folks here. Let's not sit up here and act brand new like we don't understand why we're going through the stuff that we're going through. You know why you're going through the stuff you're going through, because you allowed your hormones to get in the way of your wisdom. That's why I preach wisdom and knowledge. Y'all need to learn how to seek that. Y'all need to look for wisdom and knowledge like y'all looking for them W-2 forms. That's how serious it better be. Y'all better be looking for wisdom and knowledge like y'all looking for that EPT to hit your the EPT funds to hit your EPT card. Y'all better be looking for wisdom and knowledge. You like y'all looking for, you know what I'm saying, where your next income tax return coming. That's how serious it better be, because wisdom and knowledge, that's what's going to keep you. Not your beauty, not your booty, not how good your game is, guys, fellas. You better have wisdom and knowledge and common sense, because there's too many people in the Black community. We are lacking in that. We are lacking in that because we want to be entertained instead of educated. We'd rather go to the panels where they have all the drama, where they're arguing, fighting, and disrespecting and going off on one another. We love to go to stuff like that. We don't support channels that are going to educate us and give us some valuable information that's going to be resourceful to us. We don't want to be educated. We want to be entertained. We want to go where the action is. We want to go where the drama is. We want to go to this channel because they arguing, they fighting, they disrespecting each other, they going back and forth. You know, what about the real issues within the Black community? What about that? Why are we not addressing this? Why are we not schooling these sisters? I don't got time to beat a. I'm one thing about what my channel. I'm not gonna ridicule sisters. I do come in hard, but that's because it's coming from a very passionate place. Because I'm tired of sisters being blind and being stuck on stupid and thinking the government cares about them. The government don't care about you, sis. The government don't care about your kids. The government will put you in your churn out tomorrow. What are you going to do if this Trump thing? If this government shutdown thing goes on another month or two, what are you going to do when you get that letter in your mailbox that tells you you got 30 days or you got a week to leave the premises? What's up, Julian? Thank you for coming in. We don't force any women open to whom she selected. But you know, my thing is, I know, right, Shar? My thing is, what is it going to take for these sisters to understand that the government is not promised to them. Like I said, the government is no more reliable, is no more dependable than your baby daddy. Like your baby daddy ain't, you feel like your baby daddy ain't crap. Guess what? The government ain't crap. The government could pull a rug from up under your foot when you least expect it. What you gonna do if they tell you check your EPT card tomorrow and it's zero balance because the government don't put a hold on EPT? How you gonna feed your 8 kids? How you gonna feed them? You don't have a job. You don't have no degrees. You don't have no other plans because you've been dependent on the system all of your life. What is your next plan, sis? You got to have a plan. And for you dudes that are living off of these women, that are dependent on the government, I definitely don't have no respect for y'all because don't get it twisted. Why we riding these sisters? For every sorry sister, there's a sorry brother. There's a trifling brother. It's always that one dude who lives off of these females who depend on the government and make it so bad they sit there comfortably. They ain't schooling these broads and they ain't trying to work. They ain't trying to help their woman get out of government housing. He up there eating off the EPT card. He up there drinking the kids' Capri Suns. He up there eating the kid Little Debbie snacks. He eating the Swiss rolls and the Star Crunches. He up there eating, and she's so glad to have a man in her life. She don't care if the Negro don't work as long as she can say she got a penis in bed with her at night. It's sad, but that's how low we have stooped. Exactly, Kujin. We have these dusty dudes who live off of these women who's in Section 8 housing. He's laying on her sofa that she done brought from Rent Center. She 3-4 months behind on her Rent Center couch. He laying on that Rent Center furniture, putting a dent in it and scratching his scrotum sack, watching Netflix all damn day. These are the kind of dudes that these females pick up. Because let me tell you something. If you're a woman who really got to work earnestly for your stuff, you will be more selective about what kind of dude you let in your life. You will be way more selective. If you're the type of woman who don't get welfare, who don't get housing, you have to pay for everything, you have to work for everything, I guarantee you're not going to let Tyrone just move in with you. You're not going to let Tyrone lay on your Rent Center furniture and wear it out. When you know you got to work for everything, you're not going to do that. That's why I said the system has created these women to be has basically handicapped them because they picking up dudes that are no better than them. That's what's going on. Because if you woman and you work for yours, you're not about to let a man just come in your house and destroy everything you built. Not if you're not gonna be working your ass off every day, and you come home and he's still scratching his balls the same time, the same way he was scratching them when you left. You're not about to settle for that. It's gonna make you feel some type of way. It's going to eat at your pride because you getting up every morning, he's still there scratching his balls. You get off from work, he's still there scratching his balls. You're going to get tired of that. It's going to do something to you as a woman. If you're a real woman, now you have some women, they don't mind if the dude is making dick deposits. He ain't never got to pay no rent. As long as he depositing dick once a month, and if you're that kind of woman, then guess what? May the force be with you. Cause I mean, dick don't pay bills. I'm sorry, but you got some women that's like that. You got some, I personally know some women that's like that. That man ain't got to do nothing but make deposits. As long as he doing that, she's not going to complain. You know, she'll let him drive her car, even though his license is suspended. She'll let his 8-9 kids come over that he ain't paying no child support for. I'm telling you, desperation has become the new drug for Black women within the Black community. Now, I'm not saying all Black women do it. I'm not saying all Black women do it, but some of these sisters out here, some of y'all been making some trifling decisions because y'all so damn desperate. You want a man in your bed so bad at night. You don't care if he providing or not providing. You just want to be able to go to your job and brag to your friends who can't stand you, and brag to your coworkers who already don't like you. Oh, Tyrone at home waiting up for me. Yeah, Tyrone gonna always be at home because he ain't got no job. Oh, I'm telling you, every sister in here know a sister that's like that. It's always that one sister who always like to brag on her man, and he ain't worth a goddamn chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. And she will sit up here and be bragging and acting like he doing so much and he got so much. Yep, smoking blunts, smoking black and milds, and then turn around and get pregnant from him. Turn around and get pregnant. I mean, it's just very nerve wracking to see so many of my sisters make such poor choices in men. Now, don't get me wrong, I've had my share. I will not sit up here and act all holy and righteous like I didn't do it. I done picked up some scrubs back in my day, but as you get older, you are supposed to learn and know better. Dumb stuff you do at 20, you don't do it at 30. Stupid stuff you did at 30, you don't do it at 40. Stupid stuff you do at 40, you don't do at 50. As you get older, you're supposed to become wiser. You don't get older to get dumber. You get what I'm saying? What's up, Raw L? How you doing? Speaking of chicken sandwich, now I want one. I'm gonna have to go to Chick-fil-A when I get off of this law. ah, you know why, Coogent? They choose dusty men because they are easier to get. A woman could only be as picky about her options as her conditions. If she's not in the best of conditions, she can't expect to get a certain type of man. You get what I'm saying? You can't be the kind of woman you in poverty, you struggling, but you trying to aim high and you want to get you an NBA player. No, don't work like that. A lot of times, bum ass females attract bum ass dudes. That's usually how it works. That's usually how it happens. Um, Women are to the bottom, they're going to attract men to the bottom. Because a man who got his stuff together, a man who's doing well, he's not about to give a woman that's on the bottom, he's not about to give her the time of day. And I can't blame him. If I don't work hard to get to where I'm at, I'm not picking up somebody that's from the bottom. Now it's different. If now there is some cases in if you to the bottom and your man to the bottom, but y'all both are striving to get to the top together, I think that's cool. I think that's a wonderful thing. My problem is when you got a bum ass broad and a bum ass dude, they both want to stay to the bottom. Neither one of them want to get ahead. That's where I have a problem at. I don't have a problem with seeing a couple that struggle together and they grow together. Because me and my husband, we didn't always have everything, and we still constantly, we're still fighting to get it and keep things going. But when you got somebody in your life that's just draining the hell out you and just taking and taking, a relationship is like a bank. If a person just keep withdrawing from you and not depositing, eventually they're gonna leave you empty. And it's too many sisters, and then some of you brothers. Some of you brothers, y'all are getting a little desperate too. Y'all picking up women who got more baggage than y'all. Except Rep. Now, Rep, the only one in here, he ain't about to pick up a woman with no baggage. Rep ain't the one. Now you got some brothers that ain't going there, but you have some of you guys, y'all getting kind of desperate. Y'all picking up these women and sympathizing with her stories because she wants to sit up there and tell you how her baby daddy ain't no good and blah blah blah. And you up there sympathizing with her, and you sympathizing with her situation because of course she made herself like the victim. So you try to be stepdaddy and you try to step up, and you call yourself trying to, what I mean, be the bigger man. And next thing you know, is now she talking to you all kind of way and treating you all kind of way after you done decide to be the man and step up. I mean, you got to be careful sympathizing with people because people are going to only tell you their version. They're not going to tell you the whole truth. That's just the way it is. Um, Raw L, when I was on Facebook, a dude said his homeboy was a Madden king, smoked weed all the time with his woman went to work. He then started going to school and work, and guess what? Chick kicked him out. What? Are you serious? As soon as the dude got himself together, OMG. But you know what, Raw L, I did some content on it. It's funny you mention that because believe it or not, y'all, there are some women, they don't want their man to work. It's sad, but that's how the dynamics of the world have changed. Some of these women, they don't want their man to work. They feel like as soon as their man work and their man get a job, that man is going to meet other women on the job. He's going to mess around with other women on the job. I'm telling you, some women, they rather they man stay at home and they do it all because that makes them feel very secure. is stupid. I wouldn't do it. But you got some women, they do that. Matter of fact, I knew a female that was like that. She worked. I mean, she was a hustler. She would get it. She was nursing CNA, making really good bread. And her man, her baby daddy that she had her two little kids from, mm, he was an at-home dad. And she loved it, right? Because in her mind, that kept her secure. She felt like as long as he didn't have a job, she had to worry about him sneaking around and messing around and all of that. Guess what he did? Because keep in mind, they was living in low income housing. Now, anybody who knows how low income housing operates is common sense. Low income housing is where most single mothers reside. So, what do y'all think he did while she was at work all day? Come on now, because I know I don't have no dummies in this live chat. What do you think dude was doing? What do you think her stay-at-home baby daddy was doing while she worked all day? What y'all think he was doing? Think about it now. They were staying in a complex with other single mothers. What do you think he was doing? Man, can't keep a man. Ha! Priest Brooklyn, you get prize behind curtain number 2. Ding, 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 ding. You get a trip to Walmart. That's what I'm saying. I know I don't have no dummies in here. That's exactly what he was doing. He was banging a chick who stayed at home all day just like him. That's what he was doing. You think I'm going to leave my man at home in a low income housing complex while I work all day, knowing his single mothers there all day? Half of them don't work. Shit. 7, where you at? I wish I could get 7 to say shit. I like when 7 says it. What you think he was doing? Yes, he was laying pipe, banging the chick out right upstairs. She come home from work not knowing he was banging this chick out. And then he ended up getting her pregnant. Okay, yep. That's what happened. She ended up leaving him. That's what happened, y'all. I mean, you take chances like that, you know what I mean? He had too much time on his hands. That's what he was doing. That's why I said, but you got some women, like I said, they running the show because they work. And some women, they don't mind a man not working because that woman makes her feel more in control. Some women feel more powerful when a man don't work. They feel like as long as that man ain't working and she the only one working, she can call the shots. That puts him in a position to where he's basically becomes a simp. He has to fall. He's become her prey. He can't make moves unless she allow it because she's the breadwinner. She's making the money. And some women, they don't have enough confidence to let their man go work that way they both can have something together. Some of these women lack so much confidence, they would rather their man stay at home all day and not work and not understanding. Guess what? If a man want to give pipe to somebody, he gonna give pipe to somebody, even if it means bringing a broad up in your apartment while you at work, because you got some men that's just that goddamn disrespectful. Yeah, I got you, 7. Yeah, treat him. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of women that are treating their men like sons. They buy his Jordans, buy his drawers, buy his suits, buy his gator shoes. They like that. You got some. They. You got some. They like that. You know, they don't mind. They don't mind if he's home. They don't mind paying for his stuff. But the problem is, the bad part about it is, if you're a woman that's doing this, eventually, whether you want to believe it or not, he's going to get tired. He's going to get tired of it. I don't care how much you buy. What it is, he's not going to get tired of the benefits, but at some point, he's still going to get tired of you. That's usually what happens. And guess what? You still not going to be able to stop him from cheating. He want to mess around. He want to do something. Guess what? You buying his Jordans. You buying his drawers. That's not going to stop him from wanting to step out on you. He going to do it anyway. And what happened in some cases, some of these women that go this far, buying man stuff, paying for all his stuff and all that other stuff. Okay, 7. I'm gonna throw it to your email. These men that y'all are taking care of, these men that y'all are taking care of like they're your sons, eventually, you know, he's still, when he get his stuff together and he get tired of playing a role with you, he get tired of pretending to being your man, he get tired of that, guess what? He gonna get with another woman with all the stuff you bought, all the Jordans and everything you paid for. He gonna get with a whole nother woman and act like he had it like that all along. All the stuff you don't bought him, he gonna advertise it for the next chick. That's what he's gonna do. All you doing is setting yourself up to be played when you do stuff like that. Like this one person said, and I never forget it. This one person said, I can't remember where I got it from, but they was like, yeah, honey, you turn around and meet a man who been wearing sneakers and you introduce him to gator shoes, guess what? He gonna walk right out your life with them same damn gator shoes and into a new woman's life. That's how it always works. Yep. Exactly, priest. That's how it works. That's what young girls like teenagers do. Yeah, but you know what's starting to happen uptown? These older women are doing that too. You know, I'm starting to notice a lot of older women are picking up these young guys and taking care of them. It used to be something that just young girls are doing, but I'm starting to notice uptown, a lot of these older women is just becoming just as thirsty as these young ones. I'm starting to really notice that. They starting to do that a lot. 7, I'm sending you the link now. So you should have it. Yeah, that's older women is doing that too. They picking up these young guys because what has happened is a lot of the men their age is already married, or the men their age is dealing with younger women. So what's starting to happen is even these older women they getting desperate. Priest, I don't know. It's going on a lot here in the South. I'm starting to see a lot of older women deal with younger men. I'm starting to see that a lot. I pulled up on me at a gas station and we were conversating. So she asked us if I had kids. I told her no. Her eyes lit up. She asked for my number and I gave her McDonald's number. Oh, I'm not surprised. That sounds like something you would do, Rip. That sounds like the Rip that we all know. Gave him money and gave them the kids chips. Hell, I don't even know they made 25 chips. Y'all are a trip. Yeah, it's starting to happen a lot. Women are reaching a new level of desperation. Um, Again, they just dealing with all type of stuff. They taking all type of stuff because a lot of women do not want to be by themselves. And we finally got 7 in the building. What's up, 7? My dog is here.
What's going on, Lady Mocha? How you been?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I'm very excited about my brothers. One particular has traveled and left the country. He's smiling. He's
Good.
excited. He's gonna be sending me some photos and footage and all that. So
Awesome sauce. So I see that you again I noticed you've been going a whole nother positive direction with your channel, which is awesome. You're trying to encourage guys to travel outside of the states. You're trying to get them out of this small mindset. You've been encouraging brothers to get out of this tunnel vision mindset. You've been encouraging them to explore other countries and things of that nature. And I think that's awesome. I think that more channels need to be doing that. There's too many channels that are encouraging drama, but we don't want to encourage enlightening things to other people.
right. The thing about it is a lot of them was very, very low attention span, and I had to help them rise their attention span. it's a lot of men that is in denial what's really going on with themselves and the counterpart of this society. And
Mhm.
what's happening is I'm bringing out the rug. I'm willing to take the hits because I'm gonna go more deep into it. A lot of
Mhm.
men need to see other options. If the woman here does not see you as the one to get with, brothers, travel out. You don't owe it to them. They make the decisions. You ladies in America make the decisions who you open yourselves up to, who you allow yourselves to open up into. Both parties is responsible, absolutely. Yet, Mocha, I can't
Mhm.
force you to do something with me unless you give me the reason to do it. Women make
Exactly.
the final decision. I could have the best game in the world. I could make
Mhm.
you see things that I do. You still have the decision to make that final. Yes, you could come on in and let's see what happens. That's the accountability. Women in other places hold themselves to a high standards of accountability. That's why they are succeeding and excelling, surpass not in numbers,
Mhm.
financial. What you're gonna find out is that most men that I speak to now, it's not about financial. Can you learn how to bridge the gap and let the past not hunt your future? Let me say that again because a lot of you ladies allow your past to hunt your future, and men are getting off those
Yes.
spells. There's a lot of brothers that you don't know in certain sectors that watch my videos. They don't say nothing. They send me emails and they say, I don't say nothing because I don't want to get into no misconstrued with your audience. And they
Mhm.
are leaving in droves.
Mhm. Absolutely. And I think I think that's a positive thing. And I think the same way for sisters. Sisters should also be traveling more as well. You
Oh,
know,
they are.
it,
They are, though, Miko. Here's the thing, though. When they do it,
mhm.
they're trying to be like a man. You're not a man. If you want to mess around,
Mm.
do your thing.
Oh,
Understand that you're not going to be treated the same as the man. At the end of the day, it's a man's world outside of America. Straight up the box. Mocha, you went with your
mhm.
husband to the Bahamas, right?
Right. Mhm.
And you saw it for yourself at first hand how the women serve their man with the little they have. They make sure their man is taken care of. You know why? Because they
Mhm.
know when they get a certain age and something was to happen to them, that man will take care of them. Whereas here, when these females get to their 40s and 50s and disrespected a lot of men, now they receiving their karma. It don't have to be in your young stages. It could be when you're in the
Mm.
hospital, nobody visits you.
Mhm.
Other
For
places,
sure.
when somebody elder, something happens to somebody elder, the men and the women and everybody make sure that person gets there on time. They
Right.
will sacrifice
Mhm.
their life. No man in his right mind is sacrificing his life for no woman here because of the bad sequences that both parties play. Yet mainly the woman say, I don't need you. I can fix my own thing. Okay, so now you 40, 50 years old. You need me to assist
Mm.
you with your children. I'm not assisting you with your children. For what?
Mm.
You told me in your 20s that I'm no good. Now that I got my own
Mhm.
small business and I'm doing things to get brothers to see the light, now you want to attack the movement. You're not going to succeed, ladies. It's too
Mhm.
big. It's over for
Mhm.
most of you. Accept your bed and live in it. Just like you told the men to do it, now it's time for you to do it.
And that's unfortunately, I hate that a lot of sisters in the community they basically wait till they damn near get burnt out when they want to find a purpose in a man's life. They wait till 8, 9 baby daddies later. They wait till 6 husbands later. Um, they wait till they're aging and their youth has passed them by. And and it's unfortunate when a woman has not made the best decisions during her youth, how it affects her womanhood. And once she becomes a grown woman, you have given so much of yourself to the wrong people during your youth. And now that you are grown, and now that all the senses have kicked in, now you want to try to get it together. But by then, you have practically already have burnt yourself out and then put yourself out there with so many different men. it's not too many guys that are going to gravitate towards you by that point, you know.
Here's the thing. I see what they're saying in the
Mhm.
chat. You gotta overstand something, priest. I'm from New York like you are. Shout out to New York. Priest, you from Brooklyn? I'm from Brooklyn too. Maybe we meet up and link one of these days. I got an event going on in a couple of weeks. So you can reach me at my channel and we could discuss this man to man. Here's the thing, guys. I get where he's coming from. You can't rebuild something unless the women are willing to repair their own selves. I can't force a woman to look at herself in the mirror and say, you know what? I get where he's coming from. Maybe I need to do certain changes for me to get a man. We don't got time for that. It's too much going on for us to put ourselves at risk because we don't get the proper respect, you know?
And, and just to interject. So what you're saying is not that you are trying to discourage, because I don't want anybody in here getting the wrong impression, because I know you like that, but I know some people don't. So you're
Right.
not stating that you're discouraging men in America to exclude black women, but what you're saying is if he's reached a point to where he's already has tried over and over and over and over with several black women, and he's gotten to the point to where he feel like he's not winning, that he should consider traveling outside the states an option. Is that where you kind of going a little
Correct,
bit with this?
correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you understand me more than most people, and that's a big issue. I can't relate to America like I used to. The last time I had American relations, as you know, Mika, was 2008. Mainly the women I deal with or certain businesses is mostly international. So you guys got to understand the guys that comes to my channel or send me emails. They try to give these women a chance, and they got burnt. And they asked me, "What should I do?" I said, "I don't want you to commit suicide. I don't want you to be depressed. There's options out there for you. Give it a try. See what happens." They said it saved them from doing something that could have been detrimental to the community. See, guys got to be careful when you say you want to fix the community. Do you want a damaged man to fix the community? I don't think so. Because that could bring more crime. That could bring more, despair. Look at the bowling incident, for example. Look at that. People getting together. You had a couple of sisters fighting, and some dude pull out. What he did was wrong. The altercation incite men to do something of the depressed mindset. I'm not excusing his behavior, but you have a lot of men who have hidden depression and they need to go out and explore more so that we don't have the debris of situations that's going on. And a lot of brothers is forcing men to do something that I don't think you should be doing. That's the only problem I have with the pro-black community. You can't force a man to do something that he is not in line with no more. Do you want chaos?
Mhm.
Do you love chaos? I'm believing some of you love chaos. I don't love chaos.
And it's true that we do need to have other options, because what happens is when sometimes your own mindset can trap you and put you in a bad predicament. Like if you see, I'll use a sister for instance. If she just keeps limiting herself to dating brothers in poverty like her, and she's not growing and getting nowhere with them, what happens is I notice most couples that are in poverty, they have the most crime rates. They have the most domestic violence, most of the highest rates of domestic violence. Because they don't have all the necessities they need, and what happens is it starts to cause conflict because both of them are in poverty. And instead of the woman or that man having enough sense to say, you know what, I don't feel like I'm growing with you, they would rather beat on that woman, or she would rather beat on that man than for somebody to be wise or mature enough to say, you know what, we're not growing together, we're not getting nowhere together, I'm going to explore my options. Maybe I need to start dating men. Dating men outside the country, or dating women outside the country. I would rather, if a man is not strong enough, like priests say, to build a foundation here in the States, and If it's better for him to travel outside, I'd rather that than for him to stay in a situation with a woman that's making him feel defeated, like he's not man enough, really, because she's not feeling woman enough to the point they damn near trying to kill each other.
He said that the Thirsty Simps should travel. I disagree with him on that. The Thirsty Simps should not travel because they don't play that in other countries. With all due respect to Preach Brooklyn. No, no Thirsty Simps should travel and be the makers of traveling. The guys I deal with is not thirsty. They just go, they do their thing, they try to live a simple life. They're not trying to be stressed out. So I disagree because in other countries, they wouldn't make it past one day if they try that over there in other countries. So
I
I
think
believe I don't know if he traveled. I don't know if he traveled because a lot of you don't travel. I travel. Ain't no thirsty man gonna be doing what they do here like they did at that gas station. If they tried that at the gas station, he would have been hung straight up the box. That situation with the incident at the gas station is a prime example of they want even allowed that. You would have a gang of dudes and officers have that person hung for being disrespectful to that woman. So them type of guys need to be off the street. And these pro blacks, I haven't heard one pro black call them out. I'm calling it for what it is. You pro black say you love this so called BAW woman, you respect her. Why you ain't calling these orangutans out? Mocha call them out. I call them out. Most of the other people or other sectors call them out. Why you're not calling them out? These are the type of friends you
absolutely.
have. These are the type of friends you have in your neighborhood. You hang out with these dudes. I don't hang out with those type of dudes, Preach Brooklyn. I don't got time for those orangutans. They need to go. In other countries, them type of people, they can't even be in society. They have them pushed out the society. Here, we accept everything. And that's why this place is going down. Let's keep it a
And,
buck.
and that's the other thing about traveling, because you will get to see. I did go to the Bahamas. I did. Once you explore things outside of the box, it does give you a different outlook on life, and to see the structure there is totally different from America. America, pretty much anything goes. There's no structure. There's no real type of boundaries. In America, there's no boundaries. Like when I seen all of those guys hurdle up with the gas station incident. And for those who didn't see it, I did a content yesterday on this young lady who was going to get some gas, and how all of these brothers, these thugs, guys, I can't even consider them like brothers like that. Brothers are somebody a man I respect. These thugs, these pit bulls, surrounded her like they were dogs in heat, you know. And I had some sisters kind of come at me a little sideways about it, like, this is America. She should be able to get gas wherever she wants. I mean, why should she have had to leave because all these thugs came up on her and surrounded her? And what I had to try to make them understand was, it comes a point as women, we don't need to challenge safety. It's not, sometimes it comes a point where you got to put that, I'm a black woman, respect me. I'm a queen, respect me for who I am. Yes, you are a queen in your own way, but you have to use common sense. And my thing is, whenever you see a group of men and you are by yourself and there's nobody to defend you, I really don't think no woman should be taking a chance put herself in that situation.
Absolutely. That's why I'm saying. You see why I'm saying, Mocha? If that would have happened in Jamaica, guys would have been coming out with the machetes. It would have been a bloodbath because they thinking about their
Mm.
own daughter. They thinking about their own mother. They thinking about their own sister. And if something was to happen to a woman in that country, they got a Bonnie head for that dude. And the police allowed them to get that person. Eventually, when that person gets caught, it's a wrap.
And that's what I do notice. The other countries are way more strict and stern. When you visit other countries, it will make you really realize realize how loose America is and how much we lack discipline. Because what I did notice about the Bahamas too, he was telling us about law enforcement there. How law enforcement is so strict. Do you not realize that they have to actually go through training for like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they said like a year or two. And whereas here in America, the average training for an officer is like what, 11 weeks? And then, and you wonder why when some of them get out there in the field, they don't make the best of decisions because they didn't get enough time to get all the training that they needed. And then the other thing is, I noticed too, if anybody who signed up to get trained as an officer in the Bahamas, how about if they sign up at 18 years old, they can't get a gun till they're 21? And they said the reason for that was because if he's fresh out of high school, 9 times out of 10, he's been beefing or might have had some confrontation with other kids in his school. They don't want him abusing his power and his authority. And I'm like, wow, I never looked at it that deep. I never looked at it if you were to hire somebody that young in law enforcement, that is very true. A lot of them are not mature to know how to not use their authority. But see, the Bahamas, they were wise enough to know that. They won't give them no gun at 18 years old as an officer. They're not allowed to have one.
Let me piggyback on what Mocha is saying. Even in Jamaica, you got to be 24 to be an officer. Military, I believe, is
Wow.
25, 26. And even that, they go through thorough training. They do psychiatric. They go through a lot of stuff. Here, if you look good enough and you got a mouthpiece, they'll give you the job. I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
as a person that runs a business, I'm very cautionary of who I hire in my business because I don't care how good of a driver you are. I gotta know if you're not gonna steal anything from the customer because I have to pay for that. I have to train you so hard on cars that I'm worse than an instructor at DMV. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That's the type of business I run. I can have people on the air that'll tell you themselves, this goddamn fucking Rollo is strict on his business. You know? And some of my own people, they drift out so fast, they give up. You know why? Because you think that I'm going to give you easy money? It don't work like that with me. In other countries,
Mm-hmm.
that's how they operate. I operate as an international person. I don't operate as an American person. And that's why America has been passive to many women, to many men, to many children. And that's why you have dysfunction in the so-called black community. Let's keep it a buck. Let's not sugarcoat it. A lot of us be passive towards
Mm-hmm.
each other. And we're trying to be like other cultures. We're not other cultures. You got to be hard on your people. That's how you get things done. I'm even on my relationship, Lady Mocha. I'm hard on my ladies. You know why? Because I want them to do better than what they're doing. It got nothing to do with control. It has to do with order. I believe in order. And I'm gonna tell you something. They so happy I got them in order. They love being in order. They
Mm-hmm.
respect order. Some of you ladies in America, if I get with you, you'll quit within a week. I put $100 on it. I put $200 on it. Any of you women in the chat in America try to get with me within a week, you'll bounce. Go back to your old usual because you're not ready for me. And I mean that literally. Me and Mocha talk. She'll tell you herself that this is not no gimmick. Me and Mocha have conversations off the air. This is how I really am. I test my woman to the point that she like, okay. Now they pass the test. Now they good. I gotta know where your mind is at. I don't care about how much you give me sex. That don't mean nothing to me, and that don't phase a lot of international men either. But you so-called Negro man, the minute she shows something, you in there. You're not thinking about the
Mm-hmm.
consequences.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, because now we've gotten to the point now to where we've strayed away from getting to learn people's mindset.
Priest
We
figure it
become,
out. Look what Priest said, Mocha. Look what he said in the chat. Everybody look at what Priest said. He knows who I am,
yeah.
why I used to be. You might as well say it, Mocha, so the chat can hear it.
Yeah, pimp talk. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, priest. I mean, you get the prize behind curtain number two. I mean, and as you stated earlier, though. No man can manipulate a woman unless she wants to be manipulated. I have control over how far I allow you to get into. I got control as far as how I allow you to get into my mind and how I allow you to enter my body. I have control of that. You can only get as far as I'll allow you to get with me. And the problem is, as women, is we do not use the authority that we have when it comes to our bodies and when it comes to our minds. We will allow ourselves to be pimp talked, manipulated, or whatever the case may be. Now, I will say this: it's not always you guys' faults, because a lot of y'all are very direct with us. Like, I know Seven is a very direct person. He will tell a female straight up, this is what I'm about, this is what I do, this, that. Some guys are very straightforward, but what happens is, it's a lot of women who will say they can handle a man being straightforward, like they want a man to keep it real with them. I want you to be honest with me. But as soon as that man is honest, they will get offended by his honesty. Like, why would you go there? Why would you say that? I'm letting you know up front what I expect out of you. I'm not going to play any games. I'm not going to lie to you. And in some cases, these women, they'll know they don't want the offer that the man has presented them with. But what it is, she'll think that she can change his mind. She'll figure, if I put it on him good enough, or if I stick around long enough, maybe I could get him to change his mindset. And a lot of women get played doing that,
Right.
thinking that they can change a man's mindset. All I got to do is put it on him good. All I got to do is cook good. All I got to do is offer all these wifely gadgets, and I could convince him to change his mind. And a lot of times we end up playing ourselves, and we want to hate the man for it. Well, he deceived me. He lied to me. No, he told you what was up. You was the one who thought, because turned him out and made him feel like king of the jungle in the bedroom. You let him bend you like a pretzel. Let him do this, let him do that. You thought, because you did all these wonderful magic tricks in the bedroom, that you was going to get this dude to change his mind. And it never happens like that. And women, we end up feeling so cheated, but we put it on ourselves. What's your intake on that, as far as that?
I'm glad you mentioned that because I don't force the women to do what they need to do. They know what they got to do in order to stay with me. There's no second question. There's no second hand talk. Either you in or you're not. And a lot of so-called American women was like that, and they had a prosperous life with certain men. Now they want to buck up against the man, and now look what you have. You have dudes that don't even know how to talk to their woman. You
Mm-hmm.
got dudes that allow their women to take over everything. I wasn't raised like that. Yeah, my mom's left my father at a certain time because my father had three women. My grandfather, I know, was a pimp back in the days. May my grandmother rest in peace on my father's side. He had many women. It's in our nature, but it's
Okay.
beyond that. It's about respect. And so most American women don't like a challenge of a man telling her how it is. They want to hear the opposite, the feel good story. Like there'll be times the woman could be dressing up and she'd be like, "Hey, what do you think about this dress?" I say, "I like the background, different backgrounds." And she like, "What you mean you like the different backgrounds?" I asked you about the dress. I said, "Oh, that pep talk you trying to give me? There's the door." She'll come back 2 weeks later talking about, "Oh, I get what you was talking about. You're not validating me. We don't validate." That's right. She started thinking clearly. I said, "You know what you gotta do to come back, right?" She said, "Oh, yeah. I'm gonna not say on this channel out of respect." So she did what she had to do, and then she worked her way back up to being the woman that she is today. So some women will test you guys. You gotta learn how to deal with it without yelling and screaming like most of these guys do. I said in a calm voice. I said what I said. Don't chastise me. There's the door. She was like,
And when
"Oh my goodness, what?" I said, you already know. Once you out, somebody else coming in. It is what it is.
Like a jail correctional facility. Once one get released, you got a new inmate coming in. And I mean, and that's true. But you know, at the same time, women, we cannot just want to hear what we want to hear. If a man tells you, "I just want to be friends with you," that is what he means. Even if he sleeps with you, if he said that, that is what he means. Even if he bought you something, that still means he just want to be friends. Even if he takes you out to lunch or dinner, guess what? That hasn't changed what he said. If he told you from the beginning, I just want to be friends. But what happens is when you men do things that most friends don't do, that woman will take it the wrong way. And in her mind, she will try to make it mean more than what it is. Because you have to be honest with yourself as a woman. If you know you really want a relationship and the man says, I just want to be friends, don't entertain him. And then you hope sooner or later he'll get that you're the woman for him. Because a lot of women do that crap. A lot of us. We will sit up there, oh, it's all right. You just want to be friends. Whoop-de-doo. I'm good with that. I'm not looking for a man. Knowing you really want a relationship. Knowing you're really feeling this guy. You want to be more than friends with him. But you try, women, we will sit up there and let our pride get the best of us. And the end, after we done invested all of this time and invested all these feelings, we feeling cheated. But you have to realize once a man has put something out there a certain way, that's just it. And Jay Boogie, you're not alone. I did it. That's how I understand. If a man says I just want to be friends, that's what he means. Even if you go to bed with him, guess what? When y'all done doing the do and you pull your panties up and he wash himself off, guess what? Y'all still got up out that bed as friends. You still not going to be his woman because that's what he meant, you know? So we can't take what men tell us and twist it in our own mind and make it mean something else. If a man says, I think you're an attractive woman, that's all that he means. He just means he finds you attractive. That don't mean he want to marry you. That don't mean he wants to build a future with you. I mean, do you think women, we have the tendency to go overboard with things?
Yeah, at times you can go overboard. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
At times you can go overboard. So let's say you come up to me, right? And you like, where's the chicken at? I'm gonna be like, what you mean, where's the chicken at? Then I tell you that the chicken will be here at a certain time, and you be like, oh, so you're telling me that you didn't get the chicken when I tell you to get the chicken? That's overboard conversation. So what I'll do in a situation like that, I say, you know what? You see that salad over there? Make that salad. I'm gonna walk out and get the chicken. I'll come back later on the next day. It's not out of spite. It's to show you that either you respect what I'm saying and you're gonna over conversate me. I'm gonna over conversate you in a respectful manner. I'm gonna make you think about what you say. A lot of guys don't have it in them to make the woman think about what she say. So when I come back to the place, I expect a different result. If it's the same result, you won't see me in a week or two until you get your act right. That's how I take my overthinking.
Definitely. Do you think is there any, well, how can I word this? Is there any real signs or real indications if a guy is like really into a woman? Is there like any real for sure signs that you could think of?
You know I can't give that information now because that's gonna be the ladies is gonna pound upon that and get these guys hooked. I can't tell you that. I will say this
What?
though. I will say this though. All you gotta do, you can't fake femininity. It has to be in you. And
Right, I agree.
a lot of ladies try that fake femininity with me, and I just be laughing because when they be like, "Oh, Rob, I've been thinking about you all day," so I pose a question: what is it that you think about me, and what time was it? What you mean? What time was it? Gotcha. Fake femininity. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely, you're right about that. But I know I definitely been kind of like digressing, but I'm gonna get ready to wrap things up in a little bit. But what do you think about this government shutdown thing? Because I think a lot of women, a lot of people are not taking it serious. They're thinking that the president is bluffing, and it to me, it don't like he's trying to let up anytime soon. Do you think? What's your intake on this? Do you think it's going to get worse, or I mean, what's your opinion on this government shutdown?
It has a lot to do with the funding of a war that they're trying to present in the Middle East. And
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to figure out ways to get it because Israel is not helping them.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know that we fund Israel 10 million a day?
Mm.
And we're trying to get certain things from them. They're not relating to Donald Trump. A lot of the leaders are not talking with Donald Trump. So he is the reason why he's shutting it down because the intel people are not getting what they want. He's not getting his answer. He's being a child. You know, Geminis have double
Mm.
personalities, so he's being a child right now.
And you know what I think the other problem is, Seven? The problem is not only we are dealing with a president, as I mentioned it earlier to my subscribers, we're dealing with a rich man that's not thinking like a president, if that makes any sense to you. He is so
Correct.
used to he has this rich man boss mentality, meaning when I want something done, I stamp a seal on it and it's done. Or as soon as I put my finger in the air, I get what I want. And that's the problem. We're dealing, we're dealing with somebody that still has this boss mentality, not understanding that just because you're used to getting what you want, that does not mean everybody has to give in to what you
Right.
want. People have to keep in mind this man used to be an apprentice. He always fired people. The moment they made a mistake, the moment he couldn't get them to do what they want to do what was his line? You're fired. And I think that's the problem the world is up against with him, is we're not dealing with a man that's thinking like an average human being. We're dealing with a man that's used to money, meaning he's not used to struggling for anything. So he's not having any compassion for us poor folks or low income folks that are out here hustling, trying to get it. He's not thinking about no housing, no food stamps. That man, he wouldn't even know what an EBT card was if you put it in his face.
I'm
He
gonna hit
got
you.
no.
I'm gonna hit you up with something. Not to cut you off, Mocha. It's not that
Sure.
he doesn't care about the middle or low. What it is
Mm-hmm.
that he wants blood. He wants to be a dictator. That's what it's about. We
Mm,
we we as a people have to stop relying on a systematic that has not favored us in a long time. And
true.
this is where we have to put our money together without we have to screen. Now here's what I'm gonna say. We have to screen everybody because we do have people in certain positions and hot seats that are not for us either. So they're no different than the president. So we have to screen everybody. Screen all the so-called blacks, whatever integration that you are dealing with. We have to figure this out. They're supposed to serve us. That's what they're supposed to do. They are babies. Just because they have a certain amount doesn't mean their mindset. Look at the mindset, the psychology. So if he could become president, anybody could become president. And that's been going on since Theodore Roosevelt to now. Before Theodore Roosevelt, I know our people was in captivity, yet they didn't force the international bankers to mess with the gold and silver. Do you know we haven't had gold and silver since 1979?
Mhm.
So the dollar is not even a commodity. It's all infiltrated and fluctuated. It's not what you think it is. Anything that's not backed by value, you should already know it's a red flag. You know?
Mm.
They
That
trying they trying
that's
to
true.
cave us in. They trying to cave us in. They up to something. So keep your eyes on that. It has nothing to do with the war. And
It's it's gonna be
somebody said
interesting.
earlier, one more thing. Somebody said earlier about the people that's coming here. The people that's coming here to this country, they is no different than the people that's in Session 8. Even though they working, they getting it too. They just
Mhm.
doing it under a different name and a different guideline. Anybody that would leave a natural resources to come to a place that's GMO, that everything is messed up here and willing to risk their health, they're agent to me. You could come to visit, but if you would leave all the natural stuff and happiness to come to a dysfunctional country, something's wrong with that person. I like certain women that come from other countries come here, they just as worse as the ones here. I will say that. They just as worse. They more dysfunction than the so-called black woman. And I'm not saying all black women are dysfunction. Let me say that. But they more dysfunction
Mhm.
than the ones that dysfunction here. You get what I'm saying?
Of
Because
course.
this
Yeah.
place, if you don't have a strong mind, this place will make you insane. So they think
Mm.
coming here that everything's gold, and then after a month or two, they're in the same boat because they've been lied to. Everybody's been lied to about how America runs.
That's true. That's true indeed. I'm wondering because I know it's always a strategy because I believe they've been probably trying to wean folks off of welfare for some years. I believe they've been like working towards that. I'm wondering if this government shutdown is going to slowly but surely be is like a setup to start rooting people out off of the system, to wean people off. They can use this to their advantage now. They could say, well, because the government shut down, we don't have no funds to feed our children. We can't give you no EPT. We don't have no funds to produce housing. And who's to say this ain't a setup so the majority of them could get off and go legitimately look for a place to stay on their own, legitimately look for a job to feed their own children. And they know the reality is there are poor folks in America that unfortunately, and they are disabled folks who do depend on the system. But I think they may use this to start weaning off the able-bodied ones,
Correct.
because what's going to happen is they're going to get tired of struggling. They're going to get tired of checking that EPT card. No stamps ain't coming. Get tired of uh housing not providing them those vouchers from the government. And that may give them the incentive to say, you know what, I got to go look for my own place, my own apartment, because this ain't working for me. And that way, when the government shutdown is over, those who have left and got their own house and got jobs and stuff, if they want to try to double back and get back assistance and housing, they're going to say no. You got off the system, and they're going to play them instead of saying, knowing good damn well most people had to get off the system because the government shutdown took too long, so they had to go make a quick move. But I guarantee you that may be a strategy to get a good bit of them off of it. And as soon as this thing clears, however long, a lot of them so ignorant, they're gonna try to come back and say, okay, I know the government shutdown is over. Could I get back my stamps? Could I get back my housing? Could I get back? Nope. Nope. Once you left and got your own, nope, we can't put you back on. I think it's a setup. I
Absolutely,
really, really
Mocha.
do.
Absolutely. It's just that a lot of the people are more into what Miss Piggy doing on the dance floor and what Mr. Leroy is dancing for them. That's where they're going at right now. Leroy's in chicken shacks, checking up on them and trying to be entertained. This needs to happen for two reasons. One, we're gonna know
Mhm.
who we are, and two, I'm interested to see how the women gonna deal with this. The men eventually gonna have to deal. Let me say this to the ladies, and I mean this. I said this to Mocha before. A lot of ladies that's in a relationship, make sure you check up on your man here and there because they're going to be attacked by many of these females. If they know your man is doing good, don't sit here and
Mhm.
be in denial. Because I told Mocha this. I'm honest. I'm blunt. I'm
Mhm.
being a good brother. There are women out there that is watching.
They're gonna have to get a new hustle, basically.
They are trying to get the man you with. And if you think that this is not the case, then you don't need to listen to me no more because I'm speaking truth. I'm seeing it myself. I got guys calling me say, "Raw, you full of crap." Next thing you know, within a month or two, they said, "Man, I had to tell my wife that I'm being stalked." I know the game. I was in the game. I was deep in the game. You can't tell me
Mm-hmm.
anything that I'm lying on. I was on the end of the stick, and I'm on the other side of the stick. I was on both sides of the stick.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have a lot of females pocket watching your husband, pocket watching your man.
Of course, they're gonna need a new hustle. They're gonna have to find some new they're gonna have to find somebody to take the place of welfare. Somebody gonna have to somebody gonna have to pay for them a place to stay. And you're right
Let me
about that because
let me
some of
put
these
it to
women,
you
that's the
like
only
this,
mindset
Mocha.
they have.
Let me put it to
Mm-hmm.
you like this. I got three ladies right now, right? They're aware of each other, which is good because I let them know what's going on. Do you know one of them told me that one of their girlfriends want to be part of the team? Like she strictly bluntly told her,
I'm not surprised.
and I'm like, nah, I don't want her. She's like, I'm gonna lose. I said, you're gonna have to lose a friendship because I'm not gonna choose her at all. Three is good
Mm-hmm.
enough for me right now. Three is good enough for me. You know.
Absolutely. Thanks, Cool Gent, for the $2 donation. I so appreciate it. Thank you very much. And yeah, you said a mouthful, Seven. Unfortunately, I saw where Priest put a comment earlier. We're focused on Keisha getting Section A and EPT, but no one speaks on the ha, has a I know I can't read today. Hasidic Jews who use Section 8 to buy apartment buildings. Now, I do understand that there are other races that also play a part in it, but the thing about it is they know and they have a backup. They still gonna be good either way it go. The thing is, I'm concerned about the black community because a lot of us do not have a backup plan. We don't take it serious. We really don't think until that letter hits the mailbox and say, you are evicted. You got to leave. You and your kids have to leave such and such projects by the 30th of the month and find a place to stay. You're going to have to vacate the premises such and such time. The thing is, our community, we love to stay blinded to a lot of things. And believe it or not, do you realize it's a lot of black people who don't even watch the news? They
That's
don't
true.
even want to know what's going on. They don't watch no news, Seven. They don't watch no news. They don't read newspapers. They don't go on the news websites. You see, Jews, they families got leaving big inheritances for them where they could start a business. Hell, half of them got their own businesses. Jews are
Correct.
taking over the health stores, taking over the gas stations. They good. I know they hustling, but the thing is, I'm sure half of them they play a part in getting food stamps. I know white people
It's a lot of them getting that.
who
It's a
even
lot
get
of
it,
them getting
but
that.
they being smart with it though.
Right.
They buying a house on the side while they stay in a Section 8 housing. You get what I'm saying, Seven? They being
Absolutely.
smart with it though. They stacking up bread. They preparing themselves for the downfall. Cause see, them other races, they educated enough to know this ain't gonna last. This temporary. I
Say
can't
that
live off
again.
of this for
Say
the
that
rest of my
again.
life.
Say
O-
that
other
again.
races, other races are smart enough to know. Those who are sneaking and getting EPT and housing, these white folks, these Jews or whatever, they are smart enough to know this stuff is temporary. It's not going to last. They making other plans while they getting on that. Because I'll be honest with you, I will raise my hand. I was on it. I stayed in the projects, 2003, 2004. We left the country and decided to come into the city. I applied, put in a waiting list. They told me, yep, okay, housing been approved. We moved in there and My thing was to just for us to be there temporarily until we got to where we needed to go. Um, I did not want to make that my permanent resting place. That was just to help us get on our feet. So when I got in housing, I played it smart. I went to school. By me going to school, my rent was only $10 a month. By me going to school.
Right.
Went to school, I stayed out of trouble. I didn't hang with the girls in the projects. I didn't talk to the girls in the projects. I ain't do none of that. If you're going to use the system, you use it to your advantage. That way, it can help you. Yes, Zero, I got a little bit of hood. Yes, I do. I got a little bit of hood in me. Yes, sir. But I played it smart. I didn't stay there. While I was getting my associates in criminal justice, my rent was $10 a month. The only thing I was responsible for was my gas, my lights, and the utilities. Now, keep in mind, I was married at the time. If you were
Right.
married, you got to report your significant other income. I didn't do that. We played low key. My husband worked so much, nobody was able to pinpoint he was there anyway, because he wasn't like project dudes. He didn't sit around on my front porch drawing attention to my house. Unlike a lot of these females in the projects, they old man, their boyfriends draw attention to them. If your boyfriend is selling drugs in front of your house all day, he walking around not doing nothing, and manager is doing their rounds and see this dude hanging around your apartment, you're gonna bring attention to yourself. Because
That's
they did
true.
inspections every so many months. They'll check your house out, make sure you ain't tearing up their stuff and all of that. You know what I mean? And once I got to where I needed to, he saved up his money while I was going to school. We was low key. We didn't draw no attention to ourselves. I didn't
Right.
hang with them helpers out there because I know they'll fall out. I know they'll be hating on me because I had a car. Me and my husband, we had our own car. And a lot of them was already hating about that because a lot of them girls was catching buses and stuff. I ain't knocking their situation. They were single moms. They ain't had no man with them. Some of them had cars and some of them didn't. But I
Absolutely.
knew it made them feel some type of way to see me with my convertible. And then my husband, he had a Lexus at the time. So I know they felt some type of way. Like, why y'all staying out here? We wasn't crazy. We knew we couldn't stay there a long time. It wasn't going to work. So what I did was when we got up our bread and stuff, I left on a clean slate. I left, gave them the key, left it for the next chick who needed it worse than I did. You know what I mean? I didn't want to stay there and make that my permanent resting place. I did what I had to do to get me to where I was going. I ain't been back to the project since. But some of them, they get used to that $10 rent, $20 rent. They get comfortable with that. They don't. They scared to go deal with the real world. They scared to go pay that raw rent. They don't want to pay
Right.
that $700, $800 because they done got spoiled. But that's the problem. I think the government has spoiled a lot of these women. These women that got used to only paying a certain amount of money. Oh yeah, I left before I got shot. Exactly, priest. I had to get up out of there. People started picking up, on things. Nobody said nothing to me, but I'm not crazy, you know. And I just, I made sure, I didn't make that final rest of place. But the government is setting these girls up for failure because they're not preparing them for the real world. They up here paying these women $800-900 vouchers, where these women only got to pay like the balance of it, which is like $100-200. But in the real world, guess what? That's not going to happen. These women are going to have to pay raw rent. If you done got used to paying $200-300 rent, and now the government pulls the rug from under your foot, and you go talk to landlords, and you got to go find your own house. Let me tell you something. Them girls gonna have a heart attack when them landlords say, "Yeah, you have to pay $800 to live here." They're gonna have a heart attack. To go from paying $200 to 800, and they ain't used to paying that kind of money because the welfare and the government ain't prepared them
Right.
to pay that amount. Them girls gonna have a heart attack. You've been paying only $10 a month. Some of them girls paid Rollo like $25, $30 a month,
I believe you.
staying in the projects. So when the government pull a rug from up under their foot, yeah, priest, you right. I forgot. I ain't bought an apartment in so long. I forgot. Priest said 3,000, and he's right. Cause I forgot. You got to pay first month. How is it? What now? Cause I ain't paid deposit in years. First month and last month. I don't know how the hell they do that. Cause we don't have our own house for almost 13, 14 years since we own the house. So I don't know how they do deposit. But yeah, them girls gonna have a heart attack. They find out they got to put 3 grand up front when you've been paying $200 all your life. Now you don't have no money left over to buy your baby Jordans. You can't buy them expensive hair bundles like you used to.
And can't
You
go to the
can't
club
drink
to
up
shake their
your
behind.
huh?
They can't go to the club to shake their behind no more.
Yeah, do they realize, Rollo, their whole lifestyle will have to change if Trump don't let up on this government shutdown. They can't party and drink up and smoke up. Yep, and yeah, background check fee. All that stuff these females got to pay for. I'm telling you, a lot of these girls 7, they gonna hurt behind this if it don't change. They gonna jump off the bridge. They ain't gonna be able to handle it. When you don't got used to doing the bare minimum,
Right.
it's hard when you got to change up and do
That's true.
something different. Yeah, yeah, Shaw, what you mean by that? Shaw says they will still go. Trust me. Oh, yeah, to the club. Yeah, they'll go. Cause you know what? They'll just like Rollo said, they'll start sleeping with other people men to give them the money to go to the club. They'll just find chicks are gonna find other ways to hustle. So 7, I'm glad you brought that up. Men, be careful, because it's about to get critical. These
They're
women
gonna
know
be.
you
They're
make
gonna be. They're gonna be into polygamy. This is why I was telling you before. Polygamy is gonna happen. I know a lot of ladies believe in monogamy. I
well, I can
understand.
respect that better than them
Polygamy
hoeing.
is coming. Yeah, polygamy is coming, guys. Now, as for me, I can't do it. I'm international, so I know they're gonna come after me sooner or later. They already placing bets on me, Lady Mocha. I kid you not. They already placing bets. I ain't gonna
They
mention the
looking for the
lady's
highest
name.
bidder.
They are placing bets. I am rolling. And I thought they was joking around just to say, y'all just joking around, put the emoji laugh. They say we ain't laughing because we know what you say is true. We don't like the fact that you're getting guys to think outside the box. We don't like the fact that you got men
Hmm.
happy, going somewhere smiling and Kool-Aid and that. And we out here getting ready for a shutdown. We're gonna get you for that. So I gotta be on my guard, myself.
you and most of these men in America, because government is nothing but a hustle. Getting food stamps and welfare, that's a hustle. So once that hustle
Right,
don't work, she's going to resort to another hustle. She's not going to resort to legitimate means because she done got used to stuff coming to her quick.
right.
She done
They'll
got
be
used to
waiting at the
playing the
door.
system.
They be
Yeah.
waiting at the door for you. Now, this is my question to you, ladies in a relationship. What are you going to do if this was to happen to you? You coming home, doing what you need to do, and you see multiple women at your door. That's I can't. I'm just asking because I need to know. Because me personally, the American woman has not ever dealt with this like other women from other countries. They deal with this on a daily basis. I'm gonna be upfront with you. They deal with it on a daily basis. Like when I was in Jamaica doing my thing, old girl found out where I was staying at and found out I had another girl. She knew I had another girl in the place. I didn't make mention of it to her at the time because I was just chilling. I didn't expect her to come. She came and she looked at me. I said, "Uh-oh, man." Because I know women in America, it's easily to get that. They won't even know if you have another woman in their house because they so far gone. A woman in another country, they will know that somebody was there. You could spray the perfume and all this other stuff. She come in, give you that eye look. I say, yeah, I had somebody here. So what's up? You gonna leave me? She was like, nah. I'm just letting you know. I know somebody was here. I was just waiting to see what you was gonna tell me. I said, yeah, I got enough experience to know what's going on. I'm speaking to a patra. And so, I was laughing, but I just know it's going to be crazy. How y'all going to respond to that if it was to happen?
Wow. I mean, I know for me, personally, it's not much. I mean, I can't babysit my husband. I can't, I just will hope and pray that he is wise to the game and not make himself, you know, get caught up into temptation because you know, these women today, they still have a sense of, they feel like what they got between their legs, they use it as a weapon, because a lot of them, they don't have nothing else going for them in the first place.
Right.
So a lot, if you the type and you can easily get got by that, it's not going to take much, because the majority of them, that's all they have to offer, and they're not making these men jump hurdles to get it. um Men used to have to really put in work, but women today have, not all women, if it doesn't apply, you don't have to reply, but a lot of these breeder bras today, they have stooped to a new low. They don't mind putting it out there. Even with a man, don't have to put in much work to get what he wants out of that, out of a female. You don't have to really put in much work, anything. So, it's just really up to the man to have discretion, because I can't fight all of these biddies off of my dude. I can't fight and be getting into it with these women, and trying to put them in their place. It's just that these men are gonna have to be wise to what's going on, and not fall for it.
I agree.
Yeah, so that is, it's definitely, yeah, it's definitely something to think about. But I know I've been doing this chat for a lovely while, and I definitely appreciate you coming on here, giving me your input, sharing your intake. On that note, is there anything else you think that you would need to any other information or any other closing words you would like to give to everybody in the chat room out there? Final thoughts?
I just want to say I'm looking forward to seeing you on Nicole today. Shout out to Nicole. That's another
Right.
female I watch. Supported a couple of times,
Oh,
and it's good
right.
to see you ladies doing your thing. Just wanted to let you ladies know, be mindful of other ladies you kind of interact with, because they could swing you off your rope. Just a
I agree.
advice tip, because I've seen it many times with great female content creators. They get other female content creators from the other side, and the next thing you know, you don't went to one thing to another. So just be mindful. That goes for the fellas too. But this is a ladies' platform, so I'm just speaking for the ladies.
I agree, and I thank you for even being man enough to say that, because some of these brothers want us as women to fail with these platforms. And I've heard positive things about this sister. Matter of fact, I've had people come to me before and tell me, hey, you need to get with her, y'all on the same key. I just I just I've heard positive things about her, unlike some of these other female content creators. I've never heard anything negative about this particular woman, and I'm very, very careful um who I connect with, because I take my brand serious. And it's not just my brand, I take my spirit serious. I don't allow my spirit to connect with all kind of people. Either we gonna vibe or we don't vibe. I don't force myself to um be in the presence of someone just because I want more views, just because I want more likes or more popularity. I try to guard my spirit. I try to be careful who I allow near me, because everybody does not have the best intentions, and I wish more sisters would get together, especially sisters that are wise and knowledgeable, could get together and school these sisters who don't have it together. That's what we need to be doing. Uh as I stated, there's too much beef in the YouTube streets. I've seen women who start off supporting one another, and I've seen it with these guys who start off and support one another, and somewhere, somehow, somebody's ego gets out of hand. Somebody's pride gets out of hand. People get the big head when they get numbers. You know, you put somebody on your channel, and now your people have you shared your subscribers by putting them on. Some of your subscribers are now subscribing to them, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's called networking. But I've seen people forget where they came from. You know, when you were somebody that started off with 2-3 views, and somebody else was gracious enough to put you on into their platform, and now that you have almost 300-400 views a day, you don't forgot who helped you get there. And I've seen that happen so many times with these black content creators, you know, and I can't speak for everyone else, but I'm looking for positive change. I'm looking to grow. I'm looking to blossom. I'm not trying to be better than the next woman. I'm just trying to be better. I'm just trying to be a better Mocha today than what I was yesterday. I'm not trying to compete with anybody. The only person I'm trying to compete with is the woman I was yesterday. I try to be better than what she was. You know what I mean? So I think if most of us would strive for that, we need to stop getting in the habit of only wanting to entertain people, because that's where the drama starts. A lot of people, I've gone on some of these platforms, I see a whole lot of chaos, a whole lot of going back and forth, cussing each other out, degrading each other, and I'm like, our ancestors, they did not pay the price. Our leaders like Martin Luther King, them, they didn't pay the price for black people to hate each other as much as we do. But we do. We can't stand to see each other grow. We can't stand to see each other get ahead. And 2019 needs to be about growth. It needs to be about change. Sisters need to be representing. Brothers need to be representing. And I don't mean representing as far as we knocking each other down. We got these channels to where it's only black women going in on black men, or it's black men only going in on black women. And my thing is, how are we growing? How are we elevating one another? What are we doing? Only thing we're doing is we're entertaining. You're getting an audience, but your audience, they're not learning anything from you. You know, if anything, the only thing they're receiving from you is that negative energy. You know, and it's so unfortunate that we still can't get past that, and we can't get to that next level. But anyway, I rambled on long enough. My last final thoughts. I definitely appreciate you, Seven, for coming on my show again. I can't speak for the other sisters out there, but I've always had a good relationship with you. I've always had a good bond with you. I've never had any issues with you. So again, everybody energy doesn't intermix. Everybody's spirit doesn't intermix. But I've always connected with you, and I've never had a negative vibe from you. So I appreciate you from always having my support, always having my back, and still being a cool, chill dude that you are. Definitely want to give a big up to all of my subscribers. Those of you who have been rocking with me from day one, I appreciate you. Those who are new on board, those of you who are just coming in for the first time today, if you did like today's content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And definitely I will be getting with what's her name, Nicole. I hope I'm saying it right. Yeah, Nicole Michelle. I definitely will be getting with this sister, because I'm all for sisters who want the right things and want something out of life. So I'm definitely going to be getting with her. But again, I definitely want to thank all of y'all for rocking out with me today. Here at Lady Mocha's. Remember, I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth, and I'm going to always break you off with a slice of knowledge. I'll holler at y'all later, and y'all have a good weekend.
Later, y'all. Be safe out there. Peace.